let me let me introduce you with my new speaker. She's Miss Sonal Jindal. She's representing the MSME and as a woman entrepreneur. Uh, so just a minute, Sonal, let me just.
Hi all, thank you Satyan for inviting me on the panel discussion.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Tell me.
Okay, so I think you have already framed questions for me regarding the budget 2020-2021. The first question you asked me, your overall impression about the budget, especially being a woman, mother, and an entrepreneur. I think my overall impression being a woman, mother, and an entrepreneur is that the budget 2020-2021 is a very balanced budget. For a 5 trillion economy to be a reality, women need to come more and more into the workforce. As our finance minister, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman said while presenting the budget, that this is a budget for every woman wanting to stand up and being counted. Given the world economic situation and the Indian situation, more and more women need to come into the workforce and be part of the Indian economy and eventually be part of the world economic growth. Currently, India, just 28% women in India are part of the workforce, as compared to the global average of 43%. This number of 28 has come down from earlier numbers. Policies aimed at women this year are good attempt like women self-help groups, SHGCs in villages, Dhanya, Dhanya Lakshmi seed distributors will be supported by government mudra schemes and NABARD. Finance Minister also highlighted the success of government Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao campaign, allocated a total number of 28,600 crore for the women-specific schemes for the financial year 2020-2021. So now let's talk about the MSME sector. Currently, 24% of the women workforce at MSME are women. The total employee count to be 11 crore. Being the second largest sectoral employer in the country, the potential for the job creation in this sector is very large. Since I am part of MSME, my companies are part of MSME, I think the potential is very high in this sector. The budget proposal to extend MSME restructuring scheme by 1 year allow invoice financing to MSME and provide subordinate debt to entrepreneurs are welcoming step. This will enable MSME who are bearing the burden of reduced liquidity in the market to grow and create more employment opportunities. This in turn will substantially contribute towards the increasing women workforce participation in our country. And the second question which you asked, Satyan, is in the budget, there is an announcement made to create seed fund for the entrepreneurs to start business. Therefore, the fund are provided to the entrepreneurs for a certain period as equity having interest obligation, but considered as equity. Do you feel this help your stage entrepreneurship and startup? Share your experience. So, creating a fund is welcoming decision and definitely will help early stage entrepreneurs. If you're coming from a wealthy family, to start up or entrepreneur is a easy task. But if you're not coming from a wealthy family, then that's a biggest challenge for any woman entrepreneur in India. And that's what the challenge I too faced. Though coming from a stable family, but making a shift from housewife to a working woman was a big challenge. So I started my business with zero investment. I did a lot of R&D, that how to save cost cut and how not to invest money, and just used my brain. Since I'm an MBA, I did a lot of research, a lot of market research. But I think once the government will help fund the SME sector, it will increase the morale of the women entrepreneurs, and that will lead to the growth of the country. And as we all know that so far 40% gender equality is contributing to the world economy world over. And I believe it will take 99 more years to come to 100% gender equality. And I would request not only the Indian government, but government all across the world to come up with the schemes to help the women entrepreneurs, and let's achieve this 99-year plan in few years, like 60 to 70 years. And I think that's gonna be the future of next decades to come. Okay, your next question was, it is said that 90% are skill oriented, but our present education system is memory based journal system. Do you feel the initiative to allow top 100 institute to start digital skill oriented courses will helpful to address human resource availability of the skill oriented talent in fashion industry? Absolutely, an adage which was quoted by our finance minister on the budget day by the Benjamin Franklin: an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. And I believe it is very much true. In the digital age and the skill related to digital, most critical and even more critical in the future. Social media and digital is a separate economy in itself. As effective usage of digital can go a long way in the entrepreneur's success. This is just not just for the fashion industry, but it is for all the industries as well. Many areas in our country, especially rural legs, they lack education, struggle with outdated teaching methods. So shortage of teacher, inadequate student teacher ratio is there, and insufficient teaching resources are there. Today the internet is rapidly penetrating into hinterland, into the rural area, and I think we should make the best use of the availability, as we have affordable data plans and cheaper mobile devices. We should spread out more and more devices to the rural segment, to the students, to the villagers. This has laid the foundation of digital education, which will lead the foundation of digital education to reach masses. Hence, need of the hour is holistic and dedicated initiative like digital education, similar to Digital India and Skill India initiative, to empower students in semi-rural and rural area to get the same quality of education which is par with the urban sector. We can further push the technology by personalizing learning through artificial intelligence, which is another way to bridge the gap between the digital and employability. It can drive efficiency and personalization in learning while streamlining administrative tasks to allow teachers to utilize their time well and do the time management very well. It also aids better learning by treating each student as a unique and adapting lessons according to his and her capability, and improve learning outcome by strengthening skill development. The budget should promote 21st century skills such as creativity, problem solving, analytical thinking, analyzing, by encouraging diversity in learning, by moving beyond the traditional ways. A way to do this is support students to learn from the new avenues and technologies. This would help to get access to multiple cultured, multiple facade learning while keeping the students engaged uh, in a high level way. So, Satyan, your next question was on the climate change, and I think it was very refreshing to hear from the finance minister about the climate change, since the last talk happened when Mr. Arun Jaitley spoke in the budget 2014-2015. This is the time when our finance minister spoke about the climate initiatives towards the climate change, though the points were too small, but I think coming from a fashion industry, climate change is a very big issue, and all the fashion industry is contributing into climate change by using the sustainable methods and using sustainable techniques to contribute to the climate change. So sustainability in fashion industry for the climate change is being demonstrated with the changes adopted in the environmental protection. So in MEDUSA source also environmental protection is the biggest part, where we do the recycling and the water harvesting techniques are being used for all the manufacturing processes. I think we are working in Tirupur, which is an industrial sector, and a lot of water harvesting techniques are being used. A lot of solar power is being used in our industry. So that's the contribution the fashion industry is bringing into the world and to the economic structure. So your next question was, um, okay. So let's come to the final question, which is like, being a mother and an Indian citizen, do you feel the budget has focused to improve the education and health of the citizen? In general, do you feel education system and healthcare system is improving this country? Uh, like I mentioned earlier, there are only, this is not the only budget which can do the improvement. We need a lot of such budgets where a lot of initiatives are needed, since like I said, for the climate change, this is the second time in this government that we are talking about the climate change. And I think in the education sector also a lot of things need to be done. The more nurturing security need to be given to the women in this country, realizing the fact that women empowerment is the key to the social development and economic progress. Budget 2020 rolled out to key women-centric initiatives and policy measures. An allocation of 35,600 crore on nutrition-related programs in financial year 21 will ensure nutrition security and increase intake of the nutrition diet for the pregnant and lactating women. The budget also focused on laying guidelines for lowering maternal mortality rates in the country. Like I said, I'm very happy with the budget, and I believe that this budget is a very balanced budget, and I am looking forward to such budgets, and I'm definitely looking forward for a gender equality in coming years. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sonal. And